Welcome back. Here we are on the main stage in Marbella. I wish you were all here, but if you're online, don't forget that you'll also find us on Facebook and YouTube. You can just search for TES, T-E-S. And if you're on Umbrella, please make sure that you connect with some of your fellow participants. So if you haven't set up your profile, you'll see a video that plays during the break showing you how to do that. But now we've got a fascinating conversation with Pedro Lindsay, who is the sales manager for Spain. And he's going to talk about Metallica and Van Gogh applied to the new e-commerce generation. So I'm looking forward to this, Pedro.
Thank you very much, Rob. It's great to be here. Nice to see you, everyone. It's great to be finally, on a physical stage, in our real estate. We have been having webinars and online chats for the last year. So it's great. I believe there's about 200-300 people in Marbella, which is great news. So congratulations, guys, to TES affiliate, and thanks a lot for the invite. So let's rock and roll. Let's move on. We're going to speak about Metallica and Van Gogh, how we apply, or how a Metallica and Van Gogh are apply digital solutions to the experience in order to improve the experience with their own audience. So let's start with the phone, guys. If you remember, the phone, we used to have normal telephones at home, right? Everything was cable, but the feeling today, those people are saying, you know what? When the telephone was cable, we were free. Now that everything's digital, everything is mobile, everything is easier, we're always trapped, right? Because we always have our telephones on. Even you can track the telephone where your employees are, where people are, where your wife is. So yes, we don't have that much freedom. Please come in, guys. So what about the statistics? 1 out of 3 people, 1 out of 3, we check the phone every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes. So we're always on the phone. I think I'm probably checking the phone every 2 minutes. Always, why? We're always waiting for messages. We're always waiting for work. We want to search. We want to buy online. We always want to be on the phone. That's true. So it's an extension of our arm, like some people say. But the telephone is no longer just a device that we use to make calls, right? We use it for absolutely everything in our life. We use it to make selfies when we go out, especially when we're shopping. We use it to e-commerce. Some people use it just at the gym to do cardio WhatsApp. I think this is a fantastic exercise. And this is a true photograph of a local gym that someone was using. I don't know what this lady was doing, but certainly was doing. What about socializing? What about when we go out for cañas, we go out for tapas, and we meet our friends? And instead of just having a chat, we have been locked down for a year. Everyone has been complaining. I'm desperate. I'm fed up to be at home. I'm fed up of webinars. I'm fed up of WhatsApps. I want to go out. I want to meet people. I want to socialize. I want to go to restaurants. But then we are there with our friends, and we're still on the phone. We're still connected with somebody else who's not there because that person couldn't come, because we want to share the menu that we're eating, the drinks, look at the selfie, whatever. But again, on the phone, on the phone, on the phone. I need a break. I need to come to Marbella. It's a great place, a nice beach, and I want to relax. But even so, we will have 2 hands, one to relax, one to be connected, right? We are always going to be there. That's life. What about this photograph? I'm not sure if you guys in the audience or people at home or on the other side of the screen, have you seen this picture before? This picture was badly criticized. I really want you to think about it. Think about this photograph. We will come back at the end of the session, and I really want you to be objective. Think what you really think about this. Be honest, okay? And the statistic of the day. According to statistics, 17% of European ladies, they use the phone while having sexual relationships, while intimating. Okay, 17% of them. So why do they need a phone? What do they do? I have no idea. But this is real statistics. Even in these aspects, we use the phone. So did you feel identified with this? Come on, let's be honest. Do you feel identified? Think about it. I don't mean only the 17%, okay? I mean with everything we have said so far. Do you feel identified that we use the phone too much sometimes, especially in real life? Do we use it for absolutely everything? We're always connected? I believe so. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Pedro Lindsay. It's great to be here. I'm a digital consultant. I'm specializing on e-commerce solutions, especially next generation of e-commerce for retails and for many of the different verticals like banks and fashion, obviously, and all kind of I think all kind of industries where you need an e-commerce. I'm also a lecturer in digital markets at different European schools, and I love teaching, I love learning, and it's great to be here. Feel free, those are my contact details, especially LinkedIn. If you want to link with me, it would be great. So let's start with Incentro. So how many people here at home do you guys know Incentro? Do you know my company? Okay, most of you obviously, yeah? Not many people know Incentro. Most of you know our projects, what we do, but unfortunately, we don't know Incentro. It's a typical huge company that's behind so many great websites, so many huge companies, but we don't make the noise. We are a company that we feel that working hard and showing our work is good enough, and we don't have to do much branding. Okay, so, but who we are, okay, with this, Incentro is a digital firm, so we are a digital consulting firm. We are based in Spain, in this country. Obviously, we have 3 offices: 2 in North Spain, Santander, and 1 in Madrid. We have loads of offices in the Netherlands, which is where we come from. Also, we opened in Africa, in Kenya, Nairobi a few years ago, 4 years ago already, and it's doing great. We have been in business since 1996, 25 years. Imagine how much has happened in the digital industry, in the IT industry for the last 25 years. We have done a lot, and we're still learning, improving, and doing so many things in this amazing market. So 13 offices, as I mentioned, in those 3 countries. Hopefully, we will have 17 offices by the end of the year if everything goes okay. And we're aiming to do our business 3 times in the next 5 years. Our small team of 400 consultants, very dynamic and very great. We have done over almost 5,000 projects, I think 4,500 according to marketing. We are in 3 countries, as we mentioned, with offices, with real structure, but we are helping our clients in 10 different countries worldwide. One of them is this one, Vision, and many other global brands. If we speak about what we do, because inside of the IT, inside the consultancy, there are so many things you can do, but in Central, we want to focus, we really want to become an expert on what we do. So if we think only about the Spanish market, which is where I'm based, we specialize in 3 different areas. One is the e-commerce. So next generation e-commerce, not the e-commerce we know today. So it's a new thing. This coming already has been in the market for the last 5 years, and it's wonderful. Then obviously the digital experience, which we are here to talk about Metallica, Van Gogh, and how consumers are evolving, okay? And finally, the most boring aspect of the business, but we have to help our companies, is more the digital transformation, all the processes, the cloud computing, low-code with Siemens, so many other IT things that we are always happy to do. So let's move on. So what happens today? Everyone's speaking about COVID, everyone's speaking about customer experience, e-commerce, digital, what do we do, what do we do? So everything is changing. That's a fact, okay? We know that everything is changing, but why is it changing? I mean, we as a consultants, we really want to understand, or let's not assume that COVID is changing everything, or just a company has to innovate or something, everything's changing because of that. We really have to think and relax on this and think what is going on, okay? So we speak to loads of customers, we speak to loads of people, with so many different objectives or opinions, and loads of people think that COVID is what is making us changing. Yes, I agree. I think COVID has pushed us forward, and we're doing so many things thanks to that. Loads of people think we live in a digital tsunami. It's a bit over the top, but it could be, why not? What about the retailer? We have seen this so many times, the apocalypse. How many stores, especially shopping centers in the US have closed. Everyone is scared now what's going on in Europe. So many retailers are closing down, but everyone is investing online. Well, it could be, yes. Always there's a crisis and opportunities we have to think. Loads of people are scared about robots. Robots, IT, IoT, are they taking over positions? Well, I don't think so. I think this is going to help us to become better at what we do, but certainly they're not taking out of our jobs, okay? When we speak about big data, we speak about experience, are they spying on us? Loads of people are scared, loads of people cover the cameras of the mobile phone, the laptops, fine. But I think everything's about big data. It's about learning and using that information, gaining those insights in order to make a better experience for us that we actually are going to enjoy. And digital revolution. Also, those people are saying we are in a digital revolution. I think we are setting on the e-commerce digital revolution. The e-commerce, I think, is one of the things that changing the most. And together with the e-commerce, certainly the experience, the digital experience of everything is happening online. But bottom line, I think we love dramas. We exaggerate everything. We're always scared. We're always afraid of what's going to happen. And I think this is a natural course of life, a natural course of business, a natural course of digitization. We are evolving and we're moving. So, and the most important thing is we don't change because we want to change. We change because something is driving us to change. And that driver usually are consumers. Yeah? Consumers are changing. Consumers are evolving. And consumers are making us to change. Consumers are always, always, always changing. Think about the way we were buying for the last 10 years and how we have slowly been increasing and how demanding we are today. Everything has to be online. Everything has to be immediate. We want omni-channel. We want immediate. We want fast delivery. We want Amazon to, not the next day. We want Amazon to be at home in the next 2 hours. So that is because consumers, we as person in our social life, we are changing. We are demanding. Obviously, the digital technology has to be there for us. Okay. So consumers are certainly more digital than ever. More. Also, more digital they are, the more demanding they are. And demanding when it comes to experience, when it comes to delivery, they don't want just to buy a product or to purchase a service. They don't want a transaction. They want to go beyond that. Okay, they want to live a real experience. They want you to engage. They want to engage with the brand. They want to feel amazed. They want the magic. And how do we do that? Well, that's what we have to think. But if we don't do something about it, obviously they're going to fall asleep. They're not going to engage with a brand. If they're online, they will run and they will jump into another site and give the business to somebody else. If they're in a physical store, they will fall asleep and not do any business with you. Okay, so they want to be amazed. They want the wow effect. Okay, they want really you guys to engage with them, to surprise them. And let's think about it. Think about how much when someone engages you that way, when someone wows you, how repetitive is the business that you do with them. So have you ever been wowed? Think about any brand that you want, any company, any experience in any single sector, and see how thanks to that they have actually engaged and have again your business. We can think about guerrilla marketing or street marketing, how big brands, especially fast-moving consumer goods like Coca-Cola, Sprite, Pepsi, and so on, how they go out to the streets to look for that mass market, and they want to do actions that actually they're not very expensive, they're really creative, and they're really engaged with a huge audience. Look at this, just by painting only one line, so probably 50 euros of cost, and you have a great campaign, and then everything is going to be online, and that experience is going to be shared through WhatsApp, through different platforms, okay? Same thing with McDonald's. So many things happening outdoors that are great experiences. IKEA, I think, uses the transport public a lot to push the furniture, and I think it's also brilliant. In the retail fashion, what about this way to engage using omni-channel solutions? How you take the digital to street marketing? This is Pepsi in London. They did a great campaign, and how they engage, and obviously how this was viralized afterwards. Okay, again, using technology to improve the experience, to make a wonderful experience, analyzing the audience to really understand if they're engaging with you, if you're serving them the right way, and using and having the technology to serve all those channels, which is not easy. Sometimes we are really creative, but we don't have the technology, we have the way to reach the audience or to do what we want. That happens a lot in companies where you have IT and you have business-oriented people like marketing and sales, that they want to do loads of things, but IT is like, no, slow down, we cannot do that, or we don't have the technology. No, Black Friday is coming. We were talking about Black Friday the other day, how many things we want to do, but unfortunately, we cannot do it. So think about Mac technology, think about next generation, think about those technologies that are coming up, that certainly we can do it. Getting creative is about applying creativity to the packaging even, okay? So just selling chicken in a completely different way. Or if you want a restaurant that people are fed up just the normal restaurants and they want to go something over the top, you can do it. I think this is happening tonight in Marbella, right? So this is the dress code for today. So there are loads of things that are happening in the retail, in the online industry, in the fashion, and we are learning a lot. Look at Amazon, a pure player, traditional. They started selling books and they evolved, and now they're opening physical stores that they're all digital. Okay, I don't know if you've ever seen or been in any of these stores, but you know that you don't have to pay. You don't have to. So obviously you pay, but through near frequency technology. Okay, so you don't need to speak to people. It's like being a virtual store. Eh? So it's an amazing experience. Amazing. Let's move on. Think about stores, how they were before, IT, like technology. This was in 10, 15 years ago. This was an amazing store. This was full of technology, great people, gurus behind the counter, giving you loads of information. You were paying loads of money for these products, but then a huge company came into the market with a completely different experience. They thought about the client. They put the client front and say, let's give them the experience. And Apple opened the stores. They allow you to play with all the computers. You use them, feel free, touch them, and they broke the experience. Then we have loads of companies like Lego, Decathlon, IKEA. They're doing exactly the same. So we want you to feel that experience. Think about travel agencies. How were they before? You went to this travel agency, they gave you a catalog of Thailand, and you were touching that catalog that 50 other people were touching before you, and now they move into a much digital experience because they understand consumers, especially the youngest, not only millennials, but the ones after the millennials. I don't remember the Generation Z or what they call, but how do you target those consumers? Think about any restaurants, any bars, how they were serving you before, how are they today? Think about a Starbucks, for instance. Like Starbucks was like, they sell you coffee, but we do everything but drinking coffee there. Okay, we have meetings, we use Wi-Fi, we meet. So there are loads of things happening online. They're saying, I saw that guy the other day in Starbucks was just having coffee. So that's strange, okay? Because you go to Starbucks to do much more. I live in Mexico there for 6 months, and all my meetings, 80% of my meetings, happen at different points of the city, but always at Starbucks. There's a free Wi-Fi, coffee, discrete tables, and you can see how people are working in these scenarios. Payment methods, again, think about check. Who uses checks here? Well, that has evolved again. If you go to store, the stores are trying to apply what's happening already online, bring it to you. So what do we do online? We don't queue up, right? We just finish our experience online and we pay. What happened in the store? We have to do all the journey within the store and then queue up and wait to go. So, well, the loads of stores like Nike, Apple, Decathlon, they come to you with a mobile device and you can pay and go. So you don't have to queue up any longer. Different ways to pay, different objects. There are so many things evolving. And this is a real picture about Church of England. I say they were fed up. Like every week, cash was going down because people were putting the excuse like, I don't have any cash on me. Sorry, I cannot give you any money. So no excuses now. You can pay by credit card, or you can also use Bizum, right? So everything is evolving and everything is helping in every single industry. Even people, special artists that they go outside. If you don't have coins, don't worry. You can do a Bizum to them. Okay, so let's think about our core business of online. And I said core because I think until probably before COVID, especially retailers, they were thinking about their online business as an additional channel, really reactive channel that people, they will come to me, they will buy, they want to go to my stores, and now they swap. And now online, certainly the e-commerce area, is core for them. Okay, it's core. Obviously, the stores are very, very important. Probably 80% of the business happens in store, right? But that is going to change. There's going to be more the experience, the boutique, the flagship, and I think the core business within the next 5 years is going to be the online business. So we have to think about what do we have there. So the first thing we have is a store is open 24 hours every single day of the week, every single day of the year. Is always there for you. So you have to send people during the morning, at midday, at night, and those people, we are going to be in a different mood, in a different position, and the experience has to be different. It's not the same to buy clothes at 8 o'clock in the morning during the week because I'm really on a hurry, or buying during the weekend with my family in a slow motion, and I want to feel the experience. And we need to understand those touch points, and we need to serve them the best possible way. But is having just an e-commerce enough? Well, certainly it's not, okay? Having an online is like having a digital catalog, okay? That's like the IKEA catalog is sent to you that you click and you buy. That's it. That's not enough. That's not experience at all. And customers certainly want much more, much more. There's nothing worse that if you go to a brand, a company, or anyone and you expect much more, that the delivery is less than the expectation. So we have to be sure that we reach those customers, and if we can, we exceed those expectations, okay? How do we do that as an online business? Well, it starts from the very, very beginning, the way they find you, the way once I'm inside of a site, of a website, any industry you want, how frustrating is that I want to look for something on your own site and your search engine is crap, it's not delivering what I'm looking for. So I look for Nike shoes to run, and you show me a red dress which has nothing to do, but you want to push it, or your browser is not working properly. That happens, and we're helping a lot of brands to change. the omni-channel experience. I might want to go this afternoon to an in-store, to a shopping center, but I don't want to buy. I just want to look, I want to chat, I want to feel the experience, and I want to have the omni-channel experience. I want to go to the app or to the e-commerce on the phone, and I want to buy it. Well, 2021, but still not working. What about delivery? It's not about just buying online. I want immediate. I want to press the button and buy it, and I want to hear the doorbell ringing with the delivery. Okay, that is happening. Germany is moving forwards on that with dark stores and quick deliveries in 30 minutes, which is, let's see what happens. Drones are moving. We're using already in Spain and in some aspects within mock-ups, within pilots in Zaragoza, in certain companies and some others, and I think that's going to be huge in the next few years, certainly. What about dark stores? Have you heard this term before? Like, as I said before, online business is becoming cool, but the loads of companies that have a huge structure of in-stores, okay, so physical stores, they have to close them or have to make any other use. As usual, people are really creative, very intelligent. They come up with this concept. It's going to be dark stores. That means they're going to be close to us, so we cannot walk in and buy like an Amazon store that we saw before. It's going to be used for delivery, to be closer to your neighborhoods, to our consumers, so we can improve the quick. Instead of having warehouses outside the cities, will take me 1 hour to drive, pick up, and 1 hour to come back. I will have them on my neighborhood, so the deliveries is much faster. One of the things I'm hearing a lot about experience is when it comes to delivery. When someone comes from Amazon, give us a package, that person is in a hurry, so there is no human contact there. In the moment they are giving you something really, really important. It can be a watch, special watch that you can buy, can be clothes, it can be jewelry, it can be anything, but we're losing that. So brands are thinking how they can improve that, and there are great ideas. Obviously, the packaging is important. What about sense marketing? Have you ever heard that? Imagine you open a box and you can smell already the brands. Like big brands, for example, like Scalpers or Massimo Dutti or Abercrombie, all those brands that when you go to the stores, you're even a shopping center, you smell it and you already know there's someone around you. You can find those stores. What that's happening online as well. You can put marketing, sense marketing. You can put those smell when you open. You feel already engaged with that brand. Okay. One of the most important things, and I think marketplaces have a lot to do here, is that we want the e-commerce to be, or brands want the e-commerce to be much more than just purely a transaction, okay? You want a place that you want to visit, that you want to have fun, that you come back, and we can. So lots of brands in Spain, especially, are starting to become marketplaces. There are loads of fashion brands, like El Ganso, El Corte Inglés, Scalpers, as mentioned before, that they're already selling from the site brands from other companies, because they want you to be the main points of contact, okay? And that, again, I think we're going to see a huge trend. So in order to understand consumers, in order to move forward, in order to deliver, we essentially have to be creative. Creative not only in marketing, but the way we think. And in order to really be creative, we must understand consumers. Otherwise, it's going to be so difficult to deliver. I think one of the things that's coming is not for me, but lots of people are liking it, is the live shopping. This to me looks very 80s, but people, especially millennials, they like us. They want you they want you to show more things on the website, on your content. So not only about online, having a digital catalog, but perhaps organize an event they use with wines, with clothes, with whatever, with someone famous. There's going to be live on your website or live on YouTube, and people will be there, and you can buy live, okay, which is everything is about business. Augmented reality. So there are many things that come in the market that make the digital experience much, much better. And I think, again, we have learned loads out of COVID. We have been locked down, we have been at home, and we have seen how limited we were in many aspects, and creativity came to business. So in order to deliver, we have to analyze every single touch point. And I think something really good to do that, and very cheap, is A/B testing. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the term A/B testing, but basically Amazon is really good. Netflix is really good. How you can show the same content, the same offer, the same promotion, but you make changes in order to understand how you engage better with the audience, okay? So for example, instead of buy now, purchase now, and just that silly thing, you change as a semantic, how you increase sales, because people, for a reason, they don't like buy, they purchase, or the other way around. Netflix, what they do, they show you exactly the same film or sitcom or whatever, but they show you each time you come, if you don't click, if they don't generate interest after you, they will change the image, the creativity, until they engage with you. And then they will understand what makes you buy, okay? Because you like when you see action, or when you see something romantic, or when you see a visible person there, and they know that, and big data keeps analyzing that information and deliver to you the right content at the right time. Hyper-personalization, that's becoming really good. I think we talk about it too much. It's not really here. It's going to come as we move in there, but it's not here. That means I go to a website, I go online, and the company already knows me. And because they know me, the creativity, the delivery, the pricing, everything will be addressed to me. I think today that's much easier in a B2B environment rather than B2C. B2C, it's a mass market, it's huge. But B2B, especially companies that like Teka, for example, or Audi, that they will have a few buyers, you can deliver that personalization, hyper-personalization in a much easier way. One of the things also is we're really concerned about is to make things easier. We have to think that after COVID, we have loads of new digital consumers, and not new, they were young, but adults that for whatever reason, they were not buying online, they were not e-commerce solutions, so they're starting now, and because they are not digital native, they find it very difficult to use these technologies. They find it they get lost in a website or an e-commerce, especially frustrated when an e-commerce doesn't work on an app, on a mobile phone, right? So we have to make it really, really easy for them. Virtual assistants or chatbots, that's becoming really big and helps people, obviously, that everything is social, that you can buy from any single point. Make it easy the way subscription is making. I think that's also becoming really huge. There are loads of things. I don't want to go and buy batteries. I don't want to go and buy loo paper or ferry or certain products that are quite boring that I need and I need to have them. So you subscribe, they will come to your house, no effort, they will charge your credit card, and that's it. So the most important thing is that we know what's going on, we know where we want to be, but sometimes we are really limited, as I was saying before, because of the technology. So we're not capable to evolve due to this, okay? So it's really, really important to think if we have the way to evolve, if we have the right e-commerce, if we have the right website or CMS, content management system, if that technology is allowing us to, if there is a good alignment between IT and business, IT and marketing, IT and sales, okay? In the e-commerce worldwide panorama, we have seen what we call, or what experts call, the monolithic e-commerce platforms. So those companies that they were creating, or those technology that was addressed and delivery or created in the 90s. Because in the 90s, we were completely different. Think about the way you guys were buying and enjoying experience in the 90s. Everything has changed a lot from there. Now we have these new concepts, next generation e-commerce, especially two big companies. There's so many not so many, but probably 5 or 6. But I like two that are called Commerce Tools and Big Commerce. They're really, really good e-commerce platforms, very reasonable in cost, very flexible, and that's a completely new concept. If we move into customer experience, we probably the same thing. We have those companies that are like the Magento, Adobe, or you have the PrestaShop. Those solutions that we call open source. Okay, open source are really good for IT people, but not for business. Are really good for those that want to develop and whole time configuring and changing things. But when you are in marketing, your business, and you want to sell, you want things to be quick and easy for the clients. And then you have technologies like Contentful, Bloomread, sales and merchandising, all those solutions that makes life easier. And that's called Mac technology. The Mac technology, the Mac concepts mean that the business is about microservices. So small services that are very easy to integrate, very easy to deliver, and they give loads of value to consumers. A for API means that they can connect very quickly, API driven, like a Lego, that you connect everything very simple. You don't need to do a whole project to each time you want to do an evolution. The C is for cloud. It means that these technologies and the way they are developed, they're cloud native, they're already on the cloud. Not that you put them on a cloud, but they're already developed and they're modern, they're 2020s, so they're solutions for us. And headless, that means headless, not head, means that if I give you technology, I give you all the back end, doesn't necessarily mean that I also have to do the front end, because the front end is about experience, it's about your image, it's about much more that you have to be very creative and really cool. So not necessarily I have to give you the first. So it's flexible to use any CMS, any front end that you want. So basically, the world is not about the big fish who is eating the small one. Now it's completely the other way around. It's about being whoever's quick and able to adapt and have technology, or has an IT department that's really quick and can adapt quickly to new consumers and new experiences. Obviously, it's going to win. Okay, is win the business. If we go back to Metallica and Van Gogh to finish, we see this image about Metallica. And if we show this to today's consumers, so those that are not fans of Metallica, they are not fans of Metallica, they don't even know them, like millennials probably, they're not going to feel very attracted by this photograph, okay? So this photograph doesn't look like a tough rock band. They're going to produce great music that I'm going to buy 100 euros to go to the concerts or download the music from a Spotify or whatever, or from iTunes. It looks like probably a L'Oreal ad, okay, a shampoo ad. It's not giving me much information. So Metallica is clever enough. They know how to adapt to new markets, and they also change the front end, the CMS, okay? So they have to evolve, they have to analyze consumers, and they are changing and adapting to what is going on. So the same thing we have to do with technology, especially with the e-commerce. If you speak to Metallica, and once they want to do a concert in Marbella, Barcelona, Amsterdam, or wherever, the first things they do, they have an alliance with many companies, but one of them is Shopify. And they will analyze where the audience is in the world, what kind of music do they listen, how often they listen to Metallica, what kind of Metallica songs they like, and then they will address and they will decide where they're going to have the concerts, what kind of music they're going to play for every single concert, and even they will design all the merchandising accordingly, because they know the audience very well. I think that's very, very intelligent, especially for a band that has been successful so many years, and instead of being a comfort zone or be arrogant, they keep working and they keep trying to deliver a great experience to us. If we go back to the first image we saw before, is the photo I asked you to think about. What was your opinion? So these people were really, these children, they were really, really badly criticized. And I started my presentation in a way that looks like I'm criticizing the mobile phone, but it's the other way around. I think we have to be clever enough to step backwards and to understand what is real life and what is business. In real life, it's true, I don't want to meet my friends, having dinner with them, and see how they are chatting with somebody else, okay? I want to meet them and enjoy the time. But when it comes to business, if I'm here and everyone is checking the mobile phones and not paying attention to me, or I'm in a museum, it's not me that I'm going to be here changing and correcting people. I have to adapt and I have to change. And that's the concept of this new digital world. We have to listen to consumers. We cannot force them to do something. And if art is not interested in the way it has always been delivered, we have to do something about it. And I think the Van Gogh team, they have done a great thing. They have done two really important things. One is how not only Van Gogh, but many artists, they have evolved, and they want you to be also available to you on the device. So there's a company called Second Canvas that have developed this app, which is fantastic. How they take, with a huge zoom, they take a high quality photographs of every single picture. You can zoom, and they will give you loads of add value of those arts. And I think it's a great, great way. And they have shown us a great lesson. Also, if you have not seen this exhibition is called Van Gogh Alive. I really suggest you to go, because I think it's wonderful, and how they broke the rules and they are delivering the arts in a completely different way. So if you're ready to change, we are here to help you guys. So thank you so much for your time. Once here and the ones in the audience, has been a great experience. So Ralph, thanks a lot for the invite.
Thank you, Pedro. That was fantastic.
Thank you very much, man.
Where do you lecture?
Mostly in Madrid. It's called ESCP Europe, ESCP Europe. It's a French university based in Madrid and many European cities. Universidad Europea, like European University, and CIS and some others. But and especially through Incentro, the marketing team, we have a great marketing team, and I'm always involved in different public experience and things like to you guys, and especially to marketing that's always placing me in different areas.
Well, I mean, your students are incredibly lucky. That was like a masterclass of everything going on. I want to ask you about COVID, because it definitely accelerated. I mean, there are, for example, Amazon is clearly a winner from COVID. What other changes have you seen that kind of accelerated the new wave of e-commerce?
Very good question. I think the most important thing is about being ready. I think we were talking about Black Friday a few days ago, and you can see how retailers, for instance, they spend probably 4 or 5 months preparing for one event, which is a Black Friday. It used to be a 24-hour thing. Now it's probably a week, sometimes even more. And they spend 5 months preparing for that, okay? They know that it's coming, and they prepare and they prepare and they prepare. Black Friday comes, and they make mistakes. The system goes down, it doesn't work. So there are always problems, and you can see how retailers, instead of enjoying that great experience to boost sales, sometimes they're afraid. I think COVID has taught us that anything can happen at any time. So now I think marketers and IT people are looking much more into these Mac solutions or these next generation e-commerce. They really understand that things cannot be planned in business, and I think that's something they taught us. That's from a business perspective. From the consumer perspective, I'm really glad because I love the online shopping and how we have been forced to buy, and now people say, hey, I like that, I like this is really cool. So I think that's probably what we have learned.
And your work is, because you talked about some of the cultural things. I mean, you know, I loved some of the statistics. I don't know who these women are. 17% of them, it's the new cigarette, isn't it? You know, they finish their intimate relations and then they get on their mobile phone. But culturally, are we very different across Europe, or are we all sort of starting to become similar? Is it the same in Spain as the UK and Germany?
I think we are, to be honest, I think, for example, Spain, we think loads of people and loads of Spanish companies, when it comes to our international strategy, they tend to go to South America, okay? Or we tend to go to South America. Why? Because they speak Spanish. Well, yes, it's a similar language. It's not identical. It's like German, Austrian, German, but it is, I agree. But if you analyze those markets, we are very different, very, very different in a cultural way, especially in business, in the way, in many, many aspects, okay? In the timing, we are very different. And even the time zone, okay? It's very difficult to deal with people that 8 hours behind you, okay? So those aspects, from a Spanish perspective, I think we are much more similar, completely different language, but we're much more similar to French and to English people, okay? Now, if we ask, I come from a Dutch company, right? So my headquarters are in the Netherlands. If you ask them, they will have this stereotype that in Spain, we drink a lot, we sleep siesta, we don't work much, we're always partying. So we have those cultural things. But when it comes to business, I think Spain is too conservative, okay? If you analyze the UK, France, Germany, they're always ahead of us, sometimes 2 years, 4 years ahead of us in technology, because they think in business and they drive business and they're much, much quicker. They are, as a matter of fact, if you think the technologies we are promoting the Spanish markets, they're huge in Germany, they're huge in the UK, they're huge in Benelux, and now they're new in Spain, okay? So 2, 3, 4 years behind. So those are one of the most important aspects. If you think about projects, well, Germans care a lot about money, being on time, about money. UK is more conservative. It takes time to close business with them, but once you close a business with them, it's a long term. And Spain is more about what are my competitors doing, what's the neighbor doing, and then if they're doing it, I will do it as well. I'll be more reactive.
That's fascinating, isn't it? Because I mean, these stereotypes have been around for a while, but
Indeed.
we're all using the same platforms. So you imagine things change, but yeah, maybe not. I mean, the other thing I noticed in Germany as well is about privacy. So if somebody's talking to me and they're worried, you know, their webcam doesn't work or something on their computer, I would say more times than not they're German. They seem to be very educated about these things compared to the rest of us.
Also, Rob, we have to think that the cultural difference are not that big, because sometimes you speak to companies in Spain that you want to sell them a project, you want to help them, and the decisions are made in the Netherlands or in France, because globalization, or you speak to someone who's British and is running Leroy Merlin or Decathlon in Spain. So that's also a fact that you have to understand who is going to make the final decision, because sometimes it's a British guy in Spain.
Yeah. If you have a question, please do ask it. The questions are coming through to me on my iPad here. I'm not looking at my mobile phone doing something else, augmented reality version of Pedro. So yeah, if you've got a question, please ask. I've got a couple more questions. So psychology and also ease of use. I thought it's fascinating with your Mac
approach.
Your approach. One of the big things that certainly I've learned in my career is if you make it hard, and I mean I've got to click 3 things to find the live stream, I don't go there.
No.
And it's not because I don't like it, but I've just got other things or I'm distracted. How much is that playing? Because if you think about Amazon and Netflix, I mean, Amazon's got the 1 click to buy. That was very early in Amazon, actually, in their history. Netflix is much more visual and personalized, so it's just making it easy, isn't it? Recommended, top 10. Is that kind of approach something that you recommend to your clients?
Indeed. That's exactly what we're doing here. And when we speak about experience, we do analyze through a consultancy, we do analyze all these problems that the commerce has and in an omni-channel way, because sometimes it's not even about only in the website that it takes 3, 4, 5 clicks to find something, which is frustrating. It's about having a search engine that you put the information that you are, for example, Black Friday, as we were saying before, or any day, I know that I'm your website. I know what I want. So I don't want advertisement. I want your search engine. I want to find out. I want you to delivery. So the delivery is really, really bad, really bad. So that is something we're learning. And if we go to the mobile phone has also loads of things to improve. So I think in Spain are those 2 projects that we're helping a lot on search engines and mobile phones. So apps or e-commerce on a phone.
Just making it a little bit easier for people.
Customer oriented.
Yeah, really interesting. So let's talk about the future. You mentioned retail apocalypse. There was some news this week that Gap in the UK is no more. They're closing all of their stores. They're moving to online. There was also some analysis that showed that Gap as a brand, when it first came out, it was cool. It was kind of, it's American. Maybe you want to buy, your casual clothes from there. Great. Now it's seen as a commodity. So you can buy 3 Gap t-shirts, it's fine, and then buy another 3. And with the whole move to kind of being more sustainable, maybe it's not as relevant. So do you believe in the retail apocalypse? Do you think we're still going to need shops, dark stores, which I thought was fascinating?
Dark stores are becoming good.
What does the future hold?
That's well, it would be great to know that. It would be great to know what the future is going to happen. To be honest, I don't know, but I believe I have been in the in-store industry for 10 years before e-commerce. I really like in-stores, and I think it's going to be there for sure, but in a completely different way. So we are going to see a different concept of stores, much more experience, much more life. So we have to understand first what consumers want, and I think we don't even know what we want. So if, like, for example, now everyone has been locked down, and the first thing comes to your mind is that you want to go out, and you want to go out, and you want to go out, and then you're going to change our mind. We have to let consumers to go out. Once they go out, let's see what they want, because they might want to go out and say, yes, this is what I wanted. I don't want e-commerce. I want to go. Or they go out and say, well, you know what? I'm fed up to be in a queue with people giving me with posts, pushing me, too many people. Actually, I want to wear the mask again. I don't want to carry my bags. So those things I want to happen. So we will probably see a huge change. It will take time. It could be 1 year or 5 years. It's going to take time, but I think we're going to have much more omni-channel now. Perhaps I'm going to go to a shopping center because I want to go to the cinema. I have half an hour. I'm going to try some shoes on. I like them. I want to buy them, but no, don't give them to me now. I'm going to buy them online from the in-store. So that omni-channel, I think that's what we're going to see. And then I will go to the cinema, enjoy it, and tomorrow someone will ring the door and my shoes will be there. So that's omni-channel. What is certainly going to happen is that we have to forget about, when we speak about digital strategy, forget about in-store and online. We have to have one unique digital strategy, and that is already happening.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because my experience, and I will let you into a secret. So when I worked in advertising, if somebody made an ad and you didn't like it, so you made an ad, I said, no, I don't think this ad's very good. They would say, you probably don't understand it because it's not for you. And it was kind of like the emperor's new clothes. It was just a way of saying, shut up, Ralph, we're not interested in your opinion. And I do feel like I did.
A/B testing is always good.
Yeah, it's creative. I'm not sure there's much A/B testing.
Ads, not only one ad, but different ads, and let's see the reaction. Because with one ad, it's very difficult to make everyone happy, right?
Yeah, but my reaction to what you just said is exactly what happened. So the stores opened in the UK. I needed some new clothes because, frankly, during COVID, we all just bought a nice T-shirt or a polo shirt for the Zoom call. And I went into the store. And, it was busy. I had to queue to get in, socially distanced, had my mask. And then when I found something I liked, they didn't have my size. So my experience was I had a great coffee, I had a walk and a trip out, but I should have just bought it online because they didn't have it.
Exactly. So don't get frustrated. That's the but it's not up to you. They should have offered you that. That's what is going to change. There are loads of technologies now that they will have it. There was one in Spain called Pasillo Infinito, which means like the no ending hall, that they will always have your sizes, your colors. It doesn't matter if it's in a marketplace, it's in another store, it's online, and warehouse, they will find it for you. And the people inside the store, so the store attendant will have an iPad, will check for you, and will say, hey, do you want to buy it now? Do you want me to deliver it to you? We'll be here tomorrow.
Nice.
Shall I send it to your house? That's already in the market. Also, it's a huge company that's also the Mac technology. It's called Fluent Commerce. Fluent Commerce is a technology that I don't know them that much, but for what I have learned in the last few months, I really like them. They do this for you, but not only that, they also help you, which is really good for business, is that, let's say, for instance, you don't have the shoes that you want, and also they don't have the t-shirt that you want. And they will have one shoes, or they will have one shoe in one store, and in the warehouse, or in the warehouse, they will have one shoes, and in one store, they will have your shoes and your t-shirts. What retailers do today? Always warehouse first. Oh, yes, they have the shoes. Don't worry, I will get the shoes from the warehouse. One packaging and one delivery time and one cost to delivery. And then the t-shirt, oh yeah, the t-shirt is in that store. Another packaging, another timing. So you will have two deliveries, different deliveries, and the store will have much more cost. Fluent Commerce, they will do an analysis with all the channels and they say, yes, the warehouse has it, but this store, they have them both. Let's get instead of warehouse, let's get the goods from this store and I will deliver it tomorrow or in the store, less cost, quicker, better service. I mean, that is something, I don't remember the technical name of Fluent Commerce. It's like a content management, I don't remember, but a great solution. And also that's changing a lot and that's happening already now.
It's interesting what's going on behind the scenes because again, I'm referring to the UK, but Amazon have got the next day or even same day if you're in London. And as far as I'm aware, for men my age, there's only one brand that really has kept up with that, which is a company called Next.
We work with Next.
Great.
The search and merchandising of Next, if you check, they have a brilliant search engine because they use one of our technologies called Bloomreach.
Well, I just teed that up there for you, didn't I? But yeah, I thought it was interesting that Next are able to match that. It's a different courier, which is, the logistics part of me is thinking that's interesting. Why is it not the same network? But it's not. Somebody else. Nobody else has been able to keep up with Amazon. So, it's kind of I don't know. And actually, I did have one final question because I know we're coming towards time. Shopify. You just mentioned them in passing. Great Canadian company. They're everywhere, aren't they?
They are. Too many places, I would say. Shopify is, I have lots of respect for Shopify. They have great, but it's not my thing. It's not my thing. Why? Shopify, I think it's a Canadian company now. I would say originally from Canada, but worldwide. Huge multinational. They have grown, especially COVID has helped them a lot to street sales. But it's a SaaS platform, but it's a solution that's only for small commerce, local commerce. It's very good because it's a plug and play, very easy. It helps, but once you want to do more things, for example, international markets, if you're a company that you grow and you are already in 5, 6, 7, 8 countries, you will need to have 7 different stores, manage those different stores, do loads of developments. So it is great company, great solution, but it is what it is for the small organizations. If you work for big companies, as I was saying, Leroy Merlin, Decathlon, Next that you're mentioning, they cannot work with Shopify. They need next generation e-commerce, they need completely different. On the other aspect, one of the things I think I really like about this new concept about Mac technology, Mac is like saying Lego or Amadeus is really democratic, is really flexible. So you have the core, the business with commerce tools, for instance. You will have or big commerce, which is more better than Shopify in that line, like mid-market. You will get the core business of the e-commerce now. For the e-commerce, you will need what? You will need a catalog to show products. You will need payments. You will need deliveries. You will need loads of different microservices. With companies like Shopify, they will give you everything on a box, it's a SaaS, and it doesn't matter if you like one piece of the platforms or if you don't like it. You have to have it because it's a product. When you work with a similar company in terms of prices, with BigCommerce, for instance, you build your own commerce. It's a SaaS, but it's an open SaaS. It's a SaaS that can be addressed to your business and personalized to your business and really flexible. And you pay in base of what you use. You don't pay the full license if you're not going to use all the functionalities. I think that's really good for Spanish consumers, for instance, mid markets.
Yeah, really, really interesting. Well,
great approach.
That is all we have time for, unfortunately. But in true Metallica style,
Ralph, has been great, man. Thank you very much.
Fantastic, although we should be doing
Congratulations and have a great time in Marbella. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.